pitchers, only made 50 plate appearances against lefties. He had 36 of his home runs against righties. Only has 9 home runs against lefties since 2014. But he'll be playing in a park that gives up a ton of pull side home run hitters who are lefty. And that's how he hits the home runs. Okay? So I'd give a tick up to Mr. Peterson. All right. Taijuan Walker pitched in front of 20 scouts. His fastball was clocked at 85 to 88. Greg Bird. We didn't talk about Greg Bird. Greg Bird agreed to a minor league contract, okay, with the Texas Rangers, and he hit 11 home runs, and Greg Bird ready to go. All right, let's talk about the Labor League. The Labor League had their mixed draft yesterday. So if you haven't seen it, I'll put up the link in the chat room right after this podcast, and let's go through it right now. In the Labor League, mixed league, very well stocked with tremendous players, and as soon as I get it up, there we go. Okay, here's the deal on the Labor League. Acuna went first. Mike Trout went second. That's all I'm going to tell you about that, because that's all that really matters there. Okay, Garrett Cole was the first pitcher taken. He was taken by Joe Pisapia. He was taken in the first round. He was the number 7 pick, followed by Jake DeGrom. Now, in backing up Garrett Cole, Pisapia took Lucas Giolito. I've always say, when you make a commitment to a starting pitcher like Garrett Cole early in your draft, you've got to back him up with a good pitcher. And he did, Lucas Giolito. Okay? Then he waited and took Eduardo Rodriguez and Corey Kluber. Great pitching strategy by Joe Pisapia. Now, as far as the Jake DeGrom, taken by Razzball's Rudy Gamble, he wound up taking Jake DeGrom. And then he waited and he got Carlos Carrasco and then Shohei Ohtani. So he took Jake DeGrom, managed to come back in round 13 and took Andrew Heaney and then DeSclafani. So he got away with it, showing me that pitching, DeSclafani, who I kind of like this year, he went in round 17. Verlander was taken by Fred Zinke, and what did he do? He comes back and he takes Josh Hader in round 5. I am not thrilled with Josh Hader at round 5 this year. I mean, Hader, as good as he is, not thrilled with Hader. We'll talk about Milwaukee in just a few minutes. Then he packed on Lance Lynn, followed by Miles Mikolas, and then Marcus Stroman, and then Dylan Bundy. Say what you want with Max Scherzer, taken by Stefania Bell. She did a good job by following up with Patrick Corbin. So it's not just, again, it's not just taking the early star pitcher, but backing him up. After Corbin, Stefania Bell, it took Kenley Jansen very high in the 8th round. That, to me, might have been an error. Then she took Caleb Smith, very well done. Joey Lucchesi, Sean Manaea. In spite of the fact that the transition year tells us this is not a great year for the stud starting pitchers, because now it's not Verlander, Scherzer anymore. It's led by Jake DeGrom and then Flaherty and Buehler. Those are the pitchers. There's a transition in Major League Baseball now. Absolute transition. Thank you all so much for being here. It is much appreciated. We'll continue on with everything that's going on in that draft. Okay? So we have, is anybody coming up next? Is Arnie coming up next? I don't know. Doug Boyle has joined us. Thank you, Doug. Zelmo is here. Unholy Toledo, Timothy My Hooker, and Stephen Culps has joined us. Good morning, my friend. Brooks is here. We're going to open up strong again, Brooks. All right, let's go back to the labor draft. And in round 2, Steven Strasburg was taken. Okay, we'll give him that. And then you had a situation In round 3, just Chris Sale taken in round 3. Chris Sale could be one of the most intriguing people. Now, don't forget, this is a 15-team league. Chris Sale taken in round 3. With everything going on with Boston, looking like they're more interested in saving money than competing for this year, anyway. Chris Sale may be a very interesting pick, okay? Very interesting pick. Noah Syndergaard, taken in round 5. That's an interesting pick right there. But the Josh Hader pick, and Zach Wheeler was taken by Scott Pianowski in round 5. And there you go. A big surprise, maybe the first big surprise. A lot of people, and I'm one of them, I think Zach Wheeler is going to be this year's Garrett Cole. Not that he's going to be the number 1 pitcher in baseball, but he is going to jump. They're changing his pitch mix, and Zach Wheeler is jumping up. Taken in round 5, ahead of Madison Bumgarner, ahead of Carlos Carrasco, ahead of pitcher, ahead of Luzardo. I'm not saying he shouldn't be ahead of Ohtani. Yeah, Zach Wheeler taken pretty high. Okay. Taken ahead of James Paxton. Luis Robert, whichever you want to say, the young rookie. A rookie is a rookie is a rookie. He was taken in round 6. Okay, I get it. After you have in round 6, good combination there, but maybe a little high. Now, don't forget, he signed the extension, so Luis Robert is going to play right away. Eloy Jimenez was taken in round 6 by Razzball's Rudy Gamble. I think a phenomenal pick. I'm looking for Eloy Jimenez to be a top 5 player in Major League Baseball this year. Top 5. The closers came out. Kirby Yates came out in round 6. Hader came out in round 5, if you want to call him the closer. Clayton Kershaw, by the way, went in round 4. And we got to start getting used to Clayton Kershaw. One of the things about the Dodgers getting David Price and having so many pitchers, it's not necessary now for Clayton Kershaw to get 30 starts this year. It's just not necessary. They're going to handle Clayton Kershaw with very extreme caution. You had Hugh Darvish go in the 4th round by Tim McLeod, who took, I know a lot of Tim McLeod fans, Acuna first, Shane Bieber, Altuve, and Darvish number 4. So if you ever want to get back to Tim McLeod, Hugh Darvish went number 4. Okay, so there you go, Timmy. Nice going. Okay, Corey Kluber, now with Texas, coming off a season that may have wound up saving his arm. He went in round 9 to Joe Pisapia, who has accumulated a pitching staff now of Garrett Cole, Lucas Giolito, Eduardo Rodriguez, and Corey Kluber. Nice pick by... nice pick. I kind of like Corey Kluber this year. I do think that last year may have saved them a little bit. Madison Bumgarner went to Ray Flowers, and he took him in round 7. Moving right along, we'll get now to the... Ohtani went to Razzball's Rudy Gamble in round 8. Let's get to some of the low... Joey Adele went in round 11, and after what happened yesterday, the acquisition of Jock Peterson could have hurt Joey Adele. And when will he come up? Now, players who got taken very late in the draft. In round 29, Casey Mize was taken. Okay, that's okay. Casey Mize and Nate Pearson. So you had 2 speculative picks in the final round. Emmanuel Clase taken in round 29. I believe this kid's going to be the closer in Cleveland this year. Ray Flowers, good job by Ray, taking Emmanuel Clase in the last round. Jose Peraza, second base for Boston, taken in round 28. So if you like Jose Peraza, based upon the Labor Mixed League draft, you can wait for Mr. Peraza and get him in later rounds. And that's a very interesting situation right there. Okay? That's an interesting. Jonas Cespedes. Nobody knows. He went in round 27. So many mixed reports. And now with the Mets ownership having some trouble, the whole team is in disarray. I don't know what's going on with the Mets. So Cespedes went in round 27. He's the kind of guy that can absolutely make or break your team. Yes, he can. Absolutely. Kevin Kiermaier, who's a very good power speed guy for Tampa. Injuries have always been his problem. He went in round 26. So there's a guy who you could wait for, pounce on him in round 26. Julio, round 26. Kyle Lewis from Seattle. I love this kid. It's all about his ability to stay on the field. He went in round 26. So these are some of the really late round picks that you could make. No sense in going in and getting these guys early. He's one of the late round picks that you can make. Austin Riley went in round 24. It's still up in the air as to exactly what his role will be this year. As the Braves are still looking for a third baseman. They're not done. This market is not done. You got Arenado, you got Bryant, you got 2 third basemen out there. So don't jump on Austin Riley because the Braves have 2 third basemen to go out and to try to get. And rumor has it that they're in on both of them. So there you go. Forrest Whitley was taken in round 21. A rookie is a rookie is a rookie. That's all I'm going to say about that one, okay? John Birdie. Andrea took John Birdie in a slow draft. He went in round 21, and here's a very cheap source of stolen bases. The kid from Miami is going to be a pretty good player. He will steal bases for you. So there you go. Those are the late round picks from the Labor Draft. If you have any questions about anything, give me a holler at 888-963. Forget about. Wait a second. 516-353-6375. 516-353-6375. And I will tell you that our show on Sunday is going to be a hummer and a dinger. I can't even tell you who the guest might be. Craig Mish coming on Sunday as our guest to talk about Birdie and all the other Miami Marlins at this particular moment. We'll see how that works out. Craig's willing to come on, but we may have the lawyer who is participating in the class action suit, fantasy baseball against DraftKings and MLB. We will see how that works out. Okay, on to the Brewers of Milwaukee. And what have they done? Holy mackerel, they have not done very much. The Brewers of Milwaukee, 83.5 is the over-under. I'm going under, and I'm certainly not taking the 20-1 to win their division or the 40-1 to win the World Series. Not doing it. The Brewers have been a major disappointment to me. They really haven't done very much. Their starting rotation, led by Brandon Woodruff. After that, Adrian Hauser and Eric Lauer and Josh Limboom, Brett Anderson, Brent Suter, Corbin Burns. It's going to sort out over the spring training. But let's take a look. You got the catcher is Narvaez, who had a great season last year. Absolutely great season last year for the Chicago White Sox. Now Narvaez moving into a different league. He's the catcher from Milwaukee. He'll get plenty of playing time. I'm going with Narvaez to hit about 270. He hit 22 home runs last year. I'm saying if you're figuring, you got to figure 15. Okay? Don't forget, he was also traded for Alex Colomé. He was rated 9th among all fantasy catchers. He hit 278. Batting average ranked 2nd, only behind Wilson Ramos for catchers. So he had an extraordinary season. Okay, he's a medium hit guy. Hits to all fields. Hits a lot of line drives. He's got a good batting average possibility, but don't expect the 22 home runs last year for Narvaez that he hit in Chicago. Just not counting on that. At first base, look, they got Brian Healy, Logan Morrison, Justin Smoke. Which one do you want? You want to take Ryan Braun? Well, let's take Ryan Braun. What do we have for Ryan Braun this year for the Milwaukee Brewers? This could